I am joined by Tori, sales manager for Omni Chicago. Hello.
Hello, thanks for having me.
You bet. How is the Windy City?
It's currently windy and cold and rainy, per usual for Midwest
Really?
summer. Yeah.
So you said you were a little new to the industry. How long have you been in the industry?
I've always been in hospitality, serving and working at wineries, but I've been with Omni, which was my first hotel company, for 4 years now.
Okay, 4 years.
I've
And
had,
by the way, hospitality, I think everyone needs a stint in hospitality.
I,
I waited tables in my youth. I was horrible, but I'm a better person for it.
I agree with that. I think everyone needs to serve waiting tables or maybe working in retail at least once in their life. They really kind of understand what people go through every
Oh
day.
yeah, retail too. Yeah, I sold jewelry.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Oh,
Look at me
wow.
now. And you're a Cali girl.
I am. I'm from California.
So how did Cali get to Chicago?
Um,
Hospitality?
yeah, I went to school for hospitality, and then I got a job at the Omni San Diego as a sales coordinator.
Oh,
And then just joining Omni kind of grew me. I went to Dallas for the development program, and then once I finished that, I was lucky to get a job at the Omni Chicago, and here we are. I've been
yeah.
here about a year and a half, and I love it.
Yeah, good for you. That's
So
a
I
good
am pretty
group.
new, but yeah,
Yeah,
thank
you're
you.
not that
It's a
new.
great group.
All right. So how's your experience been the past few months?
I think everyone would agree that it's been very hard. Even if you're, no matter what department you're in a hotel or in the industry, it's just been very difficult, very sad. When the US first shut down at the end of March, I was actually furloughed for 2 months. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise because I think those were the harder 2 months. But I came back at the end of May, and it's still been very hard since we've been back. Everyone watching the news throughout the US, every state is kind of doing something different. And lucky Chicago is getting on a better end of the spectrum right now, I would say. We're open a little bit. Our restaurants, we're able to sit inside at capacity. So it's still been really hard though. Our sales team went from about 13 people to 3.
Mm,
So we're doing many, many different roles, things I've never even considered. And it's been a very interesting experience, but I would call it a good learning experience because I'm really understanding what everyone has to do in order to make a hotel operate. And
that's good.
I guess it's been really hard, but I think we've had a lot of hard conversations with clients, and that I think would be the most difficult thing. It's very emotionally exhausting
Hmm.
to have some of these conversations. And like we were talking about waitressing and everything, people aren't always the kindest, and it's kind of hard to try to not take that personally. But I am grateful to be working and, selling Omni because I think it's a great company, and I'm just very grateful. But
Yeah.
it's been
You guys
difficult. I'm not
closed.
gonna lie.
Yeah. You guys closed, right? For
Yes, we are
time?
actually still closed right now.
Oh, okay. Do you have a target reopen date?
We have a few contingency things going, so if things go right, we could open very soon. But I think my leadership team has done a really good job of evaluating the business that we do have on the books and kind of touching base with the groups that are still on the books and just kind of getting a good gauge of where they are. But not only just seeing if business is right for us, but also just kind of making sure that it's safe for us to open for our associates, most importantly, but also our guests. We want to make sure it is the right time to open. So I
Hmm.
think my team is doing a pretty good job of evaluating both.
So is the hotel mostly corporate, or is it a good mix of corporate and tourist, or how does that usually work out?
I would say about in normal times, our hotel is about a third group and 2/3 transient in business travel. We are located right on Michigan Avenue, so it's pretty much the hot spot of Chicago to be. So we do get a lot of transient business, especially on the weekends.
Hmm.
And the weekdays is usually group, but also there's a ton of conventions that happen in Chicago. So we do see a lot of convention group business as well.
Right. Are any hotels open nearby?
Yes, there are a lot open. I would say probably 70% of the hotels are opened. I know a lot of them closed down. A few of them did stay open, and I know they were helping first responders and being
Yeah.
housing for patients. So that's great. Um, they've slowly started to reopen. I think a majority of them opened the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I would imagine Chicago is one of those cities where it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It slowed down. It's slowed down like we all have, but it can't
Yeah.
stop. So, um,
It's
so
very
what are your
business oriented.
yeah? So what do you see in the next few months? Group and corporate. There's a
It's
lot of
so
speculation that it's going to take quite a while.
it's so hard to predict that. When this first happened back in March, we thought the city would be running back again in June. We thought the whole country really would be back in June. So I feel like every time we make a prediction, it just goes the opposite direction.
Right.
But at this point, all citywides in Chicago have been canceled. So I don't see a lot of the bigger group business coming to Chicago in the next few months. I mean, if I truly had to guess, I would say we're not going to see the normalcy back until probably March, if I had to guess. I hope it's sooner than that, but just the
Yeah.
way the whole country is kind of going right now, I don't see it opening and being a big hotspot anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Do you have weddings there?
We do sometimes.
Yeah.
There's
I
a
mean, I think
lot
there's
of
a
great venues in Chicago.
yeah. I think there's a pent up demand for weddings, though. You could find some. A lot of people are going to want to get
Yeah.
married.
I think next year a lot of people have postponed their weddings, and I think
Right.
it's going to be a very competitive time for weddings next year. So I guess that's a
Yes.
positive to all of this craziness.
Yeah. Get ready to pivot.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap up, do you have any advice for the other hoteliers going through this mess?
That's a really hard question because it's hard to give advice when you haven't lived through something completely, but I would say that everyone in our shoes right now is probably going through a very hard time. It's been emotionally draining and exhausting. And I would just say that this industry, hospitality in general, is a really good industry to be in. And it's fun and it's exciting and people are great. And I think if we all stick it out, I think it will turn out pretty good in the end. I think we'll all look back at this experience as a good learning time to really grow as professionals and individuals. And I think one day it really will be worth it to have
Yep.
stuck it out.
It's a great group. It's really sticking together. People
Yeah,
have kindness and grit in the hospitality, and it's good to see.
they do. It's, through all this hard time, I still love all of my coworkers, and, every day we all kind of, I can't think of the word, but we're all just building each other up all the time. And it's the team that
Right.
we do have right now. We're all just working really hard together, and it's really kind of great to see even through all this darkness right now. It's a good thing to see.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. I wish you the best.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Bye.
Bye.